Friday Food Vibes.
You ever think about what we put into our mouths?
All the time.
You are cooking
on CFAX 1070.
And we're back at it. Dallas of the Vic Food Guys is here. And Dallas, we're doing something a little different today because you have a special guest joining us on the phone as well. Tell us what's going on here, Dallas.
Yeah, so I guess the song should have been just Drink It, I think, maybe just for the segment right here. But we're going to be talking with Joshua from Level Ground about the new roaster series of coffee that they have out, which there's 4 different ones. One cool thing about Level Ground, I think a lot of people have this misconception that Level Ground is some massive, conglomerate, huge company. And the thing that was so impressive when I've been out there and seen sort of how everything works is it's like a small dedicated team of really loyal, passionate people. And I was completely blown away by what they're able to do with way less than I thought they had. And for anyone that hasn't been out to the cafe out at Shawn Heights, they have a spaceship of a machine out there that does things to coffee I didn't know was possible.
Oh, the big fancy coffee maker?
Oh, I don't know what that thing is, but it's crazy looking, and it does things I didn't know you could do. So
maybe
going out to the cafe is a thing, that needs to happen.
Maybe we should get Joshua Del Sol from Level Ground up on the line, and he can explain the spaceship. Joshua, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, everybody?
Hey,
Thanks for having me on here. Yeah, the spaceship is a La Marzocco espresso machine, so it's a pretty fancy thing, but it's a little bit older than what you'd expect, but it's got a cool design, and man, it's just so reliable.
And so for Joshua, you guys made me aware that you guys had a new roaster series of coffee out, and
yes,
I wasn't fully sure. For people that don't know, what is this series that you guys put out? What does this mean to you guys?
So this is sort of the culmination of a couple of different on the ground tests that we did. We use our coffee shop quite often to test new products and new ideas that never hit the grocery store shelves or anywhere else. And over the last couple of years, we've done our best to find the right mix of the blend between a high end product and sort of your everyday drinking coffee. To give our customers sort of an elevated coffee experience. This is the final push. We've done a couple of tests, and this is we've got our Anchor Roastery Espresso, which we've had for years. It's such a fantastic coffee. And then we have our decaf espresso. But then we've added 2 other what would be a little bit more adventurous coffees. One we try to keep a little bit more on the fruitier, sort of adventurous side, and then we have another one which is maybe a little more challenging to bring a coffee to people that they've never had before. And so those 2 are going to be rotating as we go by, but then we're always going to have our 2 Anchor Roastery Espresso and Decaf Espresso that we've got.
What do you mean by coffee people have never had before? Haven't we had all the coffees at this point?
Coffee is actually no pun intended, but it's a pretty fluid industry. There's lots of changes happening in terms of development and what farmers are doing at the processing level, because the coffee bean is actually a cherry, and they strip the fruit off and they take the seed on the inside and they soak that in some level of liquid for fermentation. It's usually water. Sometimes they leave the fruit on, and that's what gives coffee all of its flavor. But there's lots of I guess, innovation happening, especially because of climate change and all the different ways that people want to enjoy coffee. So the difference between an everyday drinking coffee, which is sort of what we have, which is a watched coffee, I won't go too deep into that, but that gives you your mellow, your really balanced and predictable flavors. But then with some of these other processing methods, you can get some really cool flavors. And they sometimes take coffee out of the it tastes like coffee realm. It can taste like fruit. It can taste like berries. It can sometimes taste like, I don't know, you can kind of use your imagination, but it's definitely not a coffee flavor that we typically know.
Huh. So for you, as the roaster, even before you even get the beans into roast, some stuff has happened at the processing level. Like you said, maybe it's been in water for a bit. Maybe it's been just left on the fruit. So there's all these different ways that it can be processed before it even gets to you, which affects the flavor. And then you get it, and you've got to do, I guess, different roasting decisions to bring it out.
Oh yeah, when a coffee is offered to us, we have a team of tasters now, and we roast that coffee to a light degree, and we taste it sort of in an open bowl called cupping. And when we taste it, we're sort of gauging what the coffee's potential is. Is it going to fit for everyday use? Does it have something special? And then the next decision is how we're going to roast that coffee. So we have to think of how we're going to work with it, which roast level it's going to achieve. And then we also think of who that customer is. And these special coffees in the roaster series, they're meant for coffees outside of our espresso, which is a very specific blend. But the roaster series is designed for people that want to try something a little bit step out of the ordinary. You know, maybe they have our Anchor Columbia Dark, but the Columbia that we have in our roaster series right now is a honey process, which really means that the fruit is left on for a longer period, and it develops this sort of really intense fruit flavor. It has a really bright acidity, and it actually gives a much different cup character. It tastes like coffee, but with sort of non-coffee flavors, or at least coffees that you wouldn't expect.
Huh. Interesting. Dallas, last question to you.
First off, I love the term cup character. My question was going to be about what the honey did to that coffee. I mean, that must just be so cool for you guys when you have a potential for something like that, where you can do something so different, eh? Like, I don't know enough about coffee to know the realm of what you can do, but it's really cool to hear that, like, you can really go deep in this. You know, there's always something new to explore, and I think that's really going to be exciting to people.
Yeah, it's, you know, the process when the fruit's left on, when all of us around the cupping table, because we taste a lot of everyday coffees all the time, when we finally get a chance to have that coffee offered to us, it's all smiles, man. We're so excited about that coffee, and it's so special. And it's like the coffee drinker's coffee or the coffee connoisseur's coffee, without being, kind of, pinky in the air type thing. We try to bring it down to a really approachable level. And that's one of the things too, that if folks can come out to the coffee shop and understand the coffee, we're happy to talk straight to people. You know, we really want to bring people into the conversation and bring them around the coffee cup and just talk about what their experience is.
Got to sit around the cupping table. There's another term for you, Dallas. That's good.
Experience the cup character.
We're right at a time. Real quick, Joshua, where do you find the shop if people have never been there?
1757 Shawn Heights. It's just off Oldfield Road out in Keating Crossroad area.